Expensive foods that only rich people can afford. People's understandings of the phrase expensive food varies widely. For some, it means red salmon. For others, truffles. However, there's actually a whole range of food products with price tags you would never have imagined possible. Food is the basic necessity of life we work hard for. Every living thing consumes to form energy, and that energy is used to work. The cycle goes on. In a world where appallingly food is hardly come-at-able for many, certain items are worth beyond one's comprehension. And those are precisely the kind we want to check out today. Let's get it on! Number 1. Saffron. When it comes to spices that cost a bomb, saffron leads the list. If your rice is luminous yellow, then the chances are it's best sharing a saucepan with saffron. The spice, nicknamed red gold, is the vivid crimson stigma or threads from a crocus flower, and it's used as a coloring agent in food. Why does something so small cost so much? It is weight for weight more expensive than gold itself. The reasons are simple. Saffron crocuses only flower for a week or two a year in the autumn. Harvesting the spice is labor-intensive as it's collected and processed by hand. And each small flower has only 3 stigmas, which means it takes around 2 football pitches of crocus to create a kilogram of saffron. That's as many as 300,000 flowers. Originally from the Middle East and rightly nicknamed red gold, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world, with the retail price for 1 pound ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. Number 2. Caviar. Caviar is widely considered to be the Rolls-Royce of ingredients, a hallmark of haute cuisine that has forever upheld its reputation of being unequivocally luxurious. But how have fish innards become such a highly coveted delicacy? Caviar is the pickled roe of the sturgeon fish and is considered one of the world's greatest delicacies. It's tricky to handle and package, but more significantly, it's incredibly rare. The most famous caviar is from the beluga sturgeon found in the Caspian and the Black Sea. Caviar is always spherical in shape, while color can range from jet black to deep khaki green, depending on the specific variety. It has a delicate flavor and is not overly fishy or salty, but rather smooth and buttery. Sometimes it can have a nutty taste similar to that of a hazelnut. Authentic caviar has a famous Caspian pop, which occurs when the roe bursts on the palate. Now critically endangered, very little of its eggs can be sold legally. It takes up to 2 decades for the beluga sturgeon to reach maturity and its adult size. Even rarer is the roe from the albino sturgeon, now almost extinct in its native environment. According to the Guinness World Records, the most expensive caviar recorded is from an aged, possibly 100-year albino beluga sturgeon whose white caviar sold for about $34,500 per kilogram. Number 3. Oysters. Now considered a luxury, oysters haven't always been the food of the filthy rich. Oysters have been around for a while. Estimates put the shellfish at approximately 300 million years old, at least, and humans have been enjoying them for centuries. In the early 19th century, oysters were cheap as chips and an important food source for the working classes in coastal communities, a snack so plentiful that they were used to bulk out meat pies. But overfishing and pollution have had a catastrophic effect on oyster stocks, and scarcity has bumped up their value. Oyster cultivation was invented by Sergius Orata, a Roman engineer also often credited with the invention of underfloor heating. And since his invention, oyster farming has become a big business. While you may be seeing oysters on the menu more these days, their popularity now is nothing compared to just 200 years ago. A dozen in a top London seafood restaurant will set you back around £51. It seems some people are happy to shell out for a slimy mollusk or two. Of course, you're also buying the oyster's infamous aphrodisiac qualities. Be careful who you dine with. Number 4. White Truffle. Found in the Piedmont region of northern Italy, highly esteemed white truffles will only grow amongst the roots of certain trees, are much scarcer than any other type of truffle, and have a particular intense flavor and aroma. They can't be cultivated or grown, although folk has tried for generations to farm the truffles. They can still only be sourced in the wild. It is this unpredictability, along with the lengths people go to locate and harvest them, which results in their hefty price tag. The record sum for a paid single white truffle was by Macau casino owner Stanley Ho in 2007. He splashed out $330,000 for one of the largest truffles uncovered in decades, weighing 1.5 kilograms, a pretty extraordinary price for a pungent underground fungus. Number 5. Iberico Ham. A type of cured ham produced in Spain and Portugal, the finest Iberico ham is from free-range pigs that have a diet of only acorns during the last period of their life. The classification of Iberico ham is rigorous, with Black Label ham considered to be the very best, produced from purebred Iberian pigs roaming oak forests and feasting on acorns. On top of that, the ham is cured for a lengthy 36 months. According to the Guinness World Records, the most expensive leg of ham commercially available is an Iberian Manchado de Jabugo, retailing at a whopping £3,192.76 as of 20th March 2016. Although the pigs are reared for just 3 years, the ham legs are then cured for up to 6. Number 6. Wagyu Beef. Wagyu simply translates as Japanese beef, and it can come from any of 4 different breeds of Japanese cow. The meat is intensely marbled with fat, which renders down during the cooking process to make the meat tender, moist, and melts in the mouth. Some fans describe it as falling apart like a soft piece of fish. The high price point is all down to the rearing process. To qualify for the Wagyu mark, the cows must be reared and fed according to strict guidelines. Calves must be given special feed to guarantee the signature fatty marbling. Kopi beef, one of the most highly prized, fetches up to 500 pounds a kilogram in Japan. That's a lot of money. Number 7. Kopi Luwak coffee. Okay, so technically it's a drink, but with bags of Kopi coffee selling for up to $700 per kilogram, it's undoubtedly worth of its place on this list. Kopi Luwak, or civet coffee, is made from coffee beans eaten, partly digested, and then defecated by the Asian palm civet or civet cat. Doesn't sound that appetizing. Some people believe that the part digestion and fermentation caused by the animal's stomach acid enhances the flavor of the coffee, with other critics in agreement that it's simply a gimmick resulting in a truly terrible espresso. Sadly, there are growing numbers of intensive civet farms where animals are confined to cages, much like battery hens, and force-fed. It's worth doing your research before buying Kopi Luwak coffee. Before we reveal the remaining 3 foods that are only reserved for the rich, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, kindly do so by clicking on the subscribe icon below. Also, give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our latest uploads. Let's continue. Number 8. Foie Gras. Regardless of your feelings on this force feeding called gavage in the industry, it's unquestionably an expensive process that adds substantial feed and labor costs to the livestock owner. It's that labor cost, coupled with a limited supply of fatty livers for the market, that makes foie gras so pricey. Foie gras is a pricey pâté made from duck or goose liver that has been fattened to up to 10 times its average size. The flavor is rich, buttery, and delicate, and the product expensive. But the birds pay a higher price than we ever will. The geese and ducks are force-fed corn through feeding tubes. It's a practice dating back to as early as 2500 BC, when the ancient Egyptians learned that many birds could be fattened through forced overfeeding. These days, many countries have laws against the practice and the production, import, or sale of foie gras. Number 9. Yubari King Melon. If you've ever been to Japan, you may have noticed that you can find unusual fruits with outrageous price tags attached to them in certain department stores and luxury food shops. A few $100s for a square watermelon perhaps, or maybe $400 for a single bunch of grapes. One such fruit is the Yubari King Melon, which is a hybrid of two cantaloupe species. After black watermelons, we present you with a melon that you must not associate with at your local melon market. Inside, it is indeed orange, but the taste is miles apart from a regular one. The proportion of sweetness is a distinction here. Yubari melons would cost around $5,000 apiece. This food is much in demand and requires auctions to sell it. In such a bid, a businessman was seen obtaining the custody of this coveted melon after stretching his bid as far as $23,000. Number 10. Matsutake Mushrooms. What's the most expensive mushroom in the world? The title belongs to Matsutake Mushrooms, Japan's answer to the black truffle. While prices are not quite as high as the most expensive truffles, whose rich flavor is sought in high societies around the world, top-quality Matsutake retail for a respectable $1,000 per pound. But why are Matsutake so sought after, and what makes them so expensive? These particular mushrooms were not really expensive until recent times. Ever since they have been prone to extinction, the prices have surged. Before it is too late, or before this food runs out, people are eager to try the taste it offers. One can only eat and frown after they realize that the exquisite taste of this mushroom is close to being obscured. Countries that specifically supply this food include China, Finland, Canada, Japan, Sweden, and Korea. That's all on our video about the most expensive foods that only the rich can afford. Which of these foods have you tried, and how was the experience? Well, if you enjoyed our video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our latest uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comment section below.